Welcome. I'd like to welcome you today, and this is our first show, so we're going to be having lots of learning adventures today.
So it's just basically what we did wrong last time, we've learned from it and changed it this time, sort of thing.
2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, do you want to start off?
Yep, that's it.
Let's talk about what it is about this style of learning that makes a difference to how much you learn, to how much you retain.
I think it's very valuable, and myself it suits the way that I like to learn.
Part of it for me is going back on the video and actually having a look to see what you've missed and seeing how it all integrated for everybody else. You don't get that opportunity in the lecture, and it's not in a participative sort of situation in the first place. Here it's participative, so you're involved in something. You've got the opportunity to go back and review.
I've got so much more out of this paper than what I have out of any other. Why am I still paying the same for crud?
I would advocate that the university investigate a greater range of learning styles across all its courses.
I do think there is actually a rush from television, and it's the time element and the excitement and the stimulation. I think it's very real. I think all those things you said are true. They were true for me. And there's nothing quite like it, and I think that does add value.
Your passion is innovation. How do you distinguish between innovation and invention?
Well, I think innovation is talking about adding some value, you know, and taking an idea and doing something that adds some value somewhere in the process.
One of the things that I think is always helpful when you're looking at an assignment is to think of what will be your short-term, your medium-term and your long-term goals and activities. And it's really helpful to a client to have those clarified. So presumably, if you were looking for short-term goals, you would want to say, what do we think will be, one, the least expensive and or most cost-effective way of having the greatest impact in the short term? Then gradually work through that sort of process, looking at the rather longer-term ones.
Have any of you ever studied for an exam, and before the exam you did the big cram, so a few nights before you're reading through all these notes, and you're reading through and you go, yeah, I gotta get this, and you go into the exam and you're sitting there and, oh, thank goodness, a lot of the information comes to hand, you write it all down and you walk out of the exam and you think, that was great, whew. And then the next day you can't remember a thing. That everything you studied is absolutely gone. Has it ever happened to you?
The single most frequent failure in the history of forecasting has been grossly underestimating the impact of new technologies. Do we understand a little bit more about what that means?
Does that sound absolutely fabulous?
Oh, yes.
Yes.